Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. So today I thought what I'd talk to you about, and thanks for joining me, by the way. I really do appreciate it. I've been practicing, so I think I'm getting a little bit better. We'll see. But I thought I'd talk today about Mitch McConnell. And so I did a little research on the internet, with just Wikipedia, and culled it down to, it's 3 pages. It's really a page with a lot of gaps, full page, and then a couple pieces here. So I'll go through this, and then we'll do a draw on Moscow Mitch to see how he's adjusting to his new position as a Senate minority leader. So here we go. I thought I'd talk a minute about Pisces, since he is Pisces. Did I say that his name is Addison Mitchell McConnell Jr., and he's born on February 20, 1942, Pisces. Pisces can be an alterable sign, effortlessly adapting to their surroundings. They may be visionaries and unparalleled access to the collective conscious through clairvoyance, and make incredible artists and creatives. Pisces can be kind, gentle, invigorated by shared experiences of music and romance. Weaknesses are they can be anxious of many things, naive, moody, and escapists from the real world, so commonly a victim. Pisces likes are solitude, sleeping, music, romanticism, arts, and swimming. Their dislikes are criticism, inability to get rid of the past, violence, and cruel behavior. So in 1984, Mitch was elected to the United States Senate from Kentucky and is the longest serving leader of U.S. Senate Republicans in history. McConnell has led opposition to stricter campaign finance laws, campaign finance laws, and believes the second impeachment of the former president is justified, mentioning 45's role of inciting the January 6, 2021 seditious, my word, storming of the United States Capitol. So he's born not in Kentucky, he's born in Sheffield, Alabama. He grew up in Athens, Alabama. Don't know where either of those places are. And is of Scots, Irish, and English descent. One of his ancestors even fought on the American side in the American Revolutionary War. So, okay, now let's see his young past. In 1944, at the age of 2, McConnell's upper left leg was paralyzed by a polio attack. And that's not polo, like water polo or polo on horses. Polio disease, illness for which we receive immunization, and now we don't have it anymore. So talk to the anti-vaxxers about that. He received treatment at the Roosevelt Warm Springs Institute for Rehabilitation, which saved him from being permanently disabled. He stated that his family almost went broke. No Affordable Care Act then, huh? Again, my words. But his family almost went broke because of the costs related to his illness. 1956, his parents moved to Louisville, Kentucky. 1963, he attended the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, where Martin Luther King gave his iconic I Have a Dream speech. 1964, he graduated from the University of Louisville with a bachelor's in political science. Sounds like he kind of knew his path a little bit at that time. And at the age of 22, he attended civil rights rallies and even interned with a U.S. senator, eventually stating that this is what inspired him to run for the Senate later. Okay, 1967. We're getting up to date. Just hang on. 1967, he graduated with a bachelor's degree from the University of Kentucky College of Law. In March that year, shortly before the expiration of his educational draft deferment, he enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserve. This was a coveted position because the reserve units were mostly kept out of combat during the Vietnam War. 2 days after taking the Kentucky bar exam, he had his first day of training at Fort Knox, Kentucky on July 9th. His last day of military service was August 15, the same year. 36 days exactly. A diagnosis of optic neuritis deemed him medically unfit for military service, and he was honorably discharged on reserve judgment. 1971, Mitch returned to Louisville and worked for an unsuccessful candidate for Kentucky governor. He worked for the unsuccessful candidate for Kentucky governor. Then for a few years went to work for a law firm, plus taught night classes on political science at the University of Louisville. So he's using his law degree to earn money and his political science degree also to earn money at night. Okay, that's good. Now, a little bit of his political history, I guess. McConnell transformed from earlier being a moderate Republican supporting abortion rights and public employee unions to the embodiment of partisan obstructionism and conservative orthodoxy. I have a little water here. So, 1999, February. McConnell was one of 50 senators who voted to convict and remove Bill Clinton from office for lying to Congress about the Monica Lewinsky affair. McConnell regularly obtained earmarks for businesses and institutions in Kentucky until the practice was banned by Congress in 2010. He's received criticism for funding temporary patches to Kentucky's long-term health care problems, while simultaneously opposing and obstructing national programs to improve health care more systematically. You know, it's sad. I mean, these things just kind of accrue during a person's political career, I guess, and until you kind of look back at them as a whole, categorized, you start to see the totality of their transformation or their way of thinking. So now, political scientists and historians and legal scholars characterize McConnell's obstructionism as a contributor to the democratic erosion in the United States, and his most common tactic is the filibuster. Let me read that again. Political scientists, historians, and legal scholars characterize McConnell's obstructionism as a contributor to democratic erosion in the United States. His most common tactic is the filibuster. If you don't know what a filibuster is, I'm going to tell you. Filibuster is an attempt to talk a bill to death. Sounds like this. Forcing Senate leadership to abandon a proposed measure instead of waiting out the filibuster, or at least to delay the measure's passage. In the United States Senate, any senator may speak for unlimited duration unless a 60-person majority votes to invoke cloture or end the debate and proceed to a final vote. 60% majority has to vote to move that on. This is a misuse of the procedural tool which undermines democracy, but filibusters left no fingerprints. When voters would hear that legislation had been defeated, journalists at that time, probably it's a bit more out in the open now, but journalists rarely highlighted that this defeat meant a minority had blocked a majority. Not only did this strategy produce an atmosphere of gridlock and dysfunction, it also chewed up the Senate calendar, like it has done today, restricting the range of issues that may have otherwise progressed. In 2012, he proposed a measure allowing President Obama to raise the debt ceiling, but hoping that some Democratic senators would oppose it. Okay, so therefore demonstrating his disunity, or demonstrating the disunity he felt among Democrats. However, all Democratic senators supported the proposal, which actually, ironically, led him to filibuster his own proposal. You know, this is something that I always say, people don't change. Whoever you are, after you become a fully formed person, adult, I just don't think you change. You know, a lot of folks believe in 1, 2, 3 strikes and then you're out. But I tell you, maybe it's just because you have to trust your intuition, but I just think once somebody reveals to you who they are, you should put them on super alert and don't be ready to give them 2 more chances. If that behavior crops up again, that's the end. not 2 more times. Anyway, let's go on. McConnell's refusal to hold Senate hearings on Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland during Obama's final year in office was described by political scientists and legal scholars as unprecedented and a culmination of his confrontational style plus blatant abuse of constitutional norms. In private, however, he reportedly expresses disdain for Trump and abhors his behavior. Last piece. Almost to the card draw. I'm looking forward to it. In 2008, his personal wealth was increased after receiving, now this is 2008, his personal wealth was increased after receiving a $5 million gift from his father-in-law. 2010, the Open Secrets website, never heard of it, Open Secrets website ranked McConnell one of the wealthiest members of the U.S. Senate based on net household worth. Remember, before becoming a senator, he had only a brief stint and, appropriate salaries for that as a private lawyer and a nighttime college professor. Okay. In 2018, September, regarding the Kavanaugh vote, he admitted that his confirmation process, being Kavanaugh's, confirmation process was a low point for the Senate, but downplayed reports of dysfunction, saying that claims that the Senate was somehow broken over this were simply inaccurate. What do you think? And the final sentence here. Mitch McConnell's estimated wealth is between $5 to $34 million. As a reference, a Senate salary is $174,000 yearly, and it's that now. It wasn't that when he started. So how much? How much do you make? So that's Mitch McConnell, and that's probably a similar bio for a lot of the senators on both sides, I can imagine. But $34 million on a senator's salary. Let's shuffle the cards. I'm going to put the laptop down. We're about 12 minutes into this, so I'll try to keep it below 20 minutes. Okay. Here we go. We're going to shuffle the cards. Here goes the laptop. Really like that. So this is still the Pamela Coleman Smith deck, and I thought I'd show you the little card that came in. Pamela Coleman Smith. So there you go. So apparently they decided to have this deck issued, which I spoke about before. That was a truer representation of her original artwork. That's 3. Let's do 4 now. You can guess now that I'm going to say what? 5. Count with me. This is going to be what? This is, what was it? Yeah, it's 6. Okay. And this is 7. I like 7. Told you why in an earlier video. Now we'll do this. Get them good and mixed up. I do like to look at the cards just because they're nice and attractive and they're nice to see them. But you can't really cheat because we're going to pull out of a mixed up spread in a minute. So I'm going to ask that I get some good, accurate information on how Mitch McConnell is feeling right now in his new position in the Senate as Minority Leader. And here we go. And my poor phone is trying to talk to me, so we'll try to quiet it down. Here we go. I'm going to do 6 cards as usual. If those don't seem like they finished the job, or if it seems promising, then we'll go on to another 4 for a full Celtic cross. So 6 cards. Did you know from which side I was going to take the cards? Probably not. Neither did I. 4. I like that one. 5. And let's go in here. 6. Put those just off to the side here. and deal these down. And the first card will be the signifier card. We're asking Mitch McConnell, how is he feeling in his current position as Senate Minority Leader? The signifier card, that's interesting, is the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is an offer of emotion and promise, and we have a peace dove diving down into the cup here, so that seems like a nice start. I wouldn't have thought that would be a signifier for McConnell, but if you think about it, if he's trying to offer, maybe he's trying to quietly turn over a new leaf. Let's hope that's what that is. It's going to be challenged by, did I show you the card? I don't think I did. Yeah, take a good look. I wish I was good enough that I could lay these cards down so that you can read them, but then I'll think they're upside down and I'm already confused enough. So the signifier card is this Ace of Cups. The challenge to that Ace of Cups is, oh my goodness, the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is feeling like you're kind of left out in the cold and separate from what you really need on the inside. And I would say that I can see that very clearly. I mean, he was a majority leader, and now he's minority leader, and the Democrats have the majority, and so that seems appropriate. So Ace of Cups, wanting to make an offer of, I would say, compassion and emotion and understanding. I'm going to give him really go out on a limb and give him the benefit of the doubt, and challenged by feeling left out in the cold. The base of the reading, so this is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess for me kind of tells me to use your intuition for the read, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's more definitions, but that's what we're going to do this time. We're going to use the High Priestess as a free card to use our intuition. And just looking at her right now, to tell you the truth, you notice that she's holding the Torah, which is a scroll of knowledge here, and she seems to be, what do they call those fruits? Pomegranates, which are very fruitful and prosperous. And you know, there's an interesting description for this B and J columns here, and I've forgotten what they represent exactly, of course, because I'm not wonderful like all the other readers that you see, but I will know next time this card comes up. I do know now, but it just doesn't come to my head. So that was the High Priestess, and like I said, you can see that she's holding a scroll of knowledge, and it's a beautiful card. So the base of the reading is we're going to use our intuition to help make the rest of this interpretation. And the recent past is celebrations. I mean, small celebrations, because we're talking about the Four of Wands here. And this shows some folks, like I've said before, that seem to be kind of removed from the main event, but that was the past. And you know, it does make sense for the past, because they were having some successes. They were hard fought. They had a lot of them, but they were hard fought with the 45's presidency. So recent past makes sense. In the sky is the Wheel of Fortune. This is amazing how accurate these cards can be, I think. So the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune just denotes that you're about to go around again and see what comes up. You know, you spun the wheel, you threw your dice in, and the universe is going to change things for you. And he certainly has gone about a change of fortune in his position in the Senate. So that's up in the sky, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I'm sure that he would like that to change. He's already tried to have some negotiations with Schumer about some of the rules, as a matter of fact, around filibuster as one point. So that's the future, the sky, what's in the sky for Mitch. And then the future, oh wow, is the Nine of Wands. And you can see it's self-explanatory. This guy is embattled. He's beat up. And if this isn't Mitch McConnell, I don't know who is, because he has been through 4 years of a huge struggle to walk the line and not succumb to all the wishes of Donald Trump. But my goodness, so that's the near future, and that's what he's looking at. He's looking at being in this position opposing so many things coming up. Well, let's go up. Let's go to the full 10. I should just always say we're into a full Celtic cross from the beginning because I can't help myself. So right from the top here, we're going to go down here, and this will be Mitch McConnell right now, how he feels. Wow. So this is the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is indicative of planning the future, making plans for what's going to happen in the future, and that certainly seems appropriate for Mitch. The environment that's in is the World card, and the World is a whole new cycle. A new game is in town, and that's the environment that poor Mitch is in right now. Pretty good. The hopes and the fears. Can't wait to see what this is. The Chariot. The Chariot. The hopes and the fears is a Chariot. And of course, the Chariot are things coming at you fast or going fast, things starting to happen, movement starting to occur, or at least that's what you hope is going to happen. I bet he can't wait for this session to be over. He's an old man. I'm sure he's not up for more of this struggle, and the sooner this period that he has in the Senate is over with and he gets to go home and sit on his $34 million, I bet the happier he'll be. And then the final outcome. Are we ready? I wish I had a drum roll. Well, probably I can. We'll see if that gets in the cut. The final outcome is the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is being made an offer of something that you don't really want, and I think that's going to be his whole life for the next 4 years or however long he's in there. I didn't look up to see how long this term is for him. So Four of Cups is the final outcome, and I think it's perfect. I think that's exactly what we're looking at for. And just to give this a little more meat, we're at about 22 minutes. We'll go over it one more time. So we had Mitch McConnell as a signifier, seeming to ready to make some sort of compassionate offer or compromise. But I think a compromise from Mitch isn't what a compromise is for the rest of us. And that was challenged by a feeling of being left out in the cold. The base of the reading was our intuition, and I think we all know that he's just a sneaky snake, and we hope he's done soon. The past were the victories, small victories really, compared to what he could have had with a sane president in the position. And the sky was the Wheel of Fortune, which means that things are about to change. The roulette wheel is about to spin around, and he's hoping that it lands more in his favor. The future is an embattled, beat-up Mitch McConnell, and then the current environment, or the current situation more specifically, is certainly Mitch McConnell looking to the future, making some plans, what's going to happen now. And that could be, trying to think how he's going to get the Republican agenda through, or it could be, wow, when am I going to get out of here? Or it could be all of those things. But it's in the environment of a whole new world. Things are starting to change for poor Mitch, and he's going to have to figure out how to negotiate that, and I'm sure he won't have any trouble at all figuring that out. However, the hopes and fears of the Chariot, which means things are coming at you fast, and it could very well mean, it seems to me, I'll just use my intuition, it seems to me that he probably can't wait for all this to be over, and then he can just sit back and relax with good old Elaine Chao, who we'll be talking about soon. And then the final outcome is being made an offer that you really don't want. So there we go. The guy doesn't look very happy, does he? Well, that's the reading. I hope that was a little bit of an improvement of what I've been doing, and I'm really practicing. You'd think I was crazy if you lived here in this house and heard what was going on in this office. That is just me talking to myself. But anyway, I enjoy it. I love getting to practice with these cards. It's an amazing experience for me. I hope it's a distraction for you. And the last time I made a video, I talked about Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett, and suggested that you go on YouTube and take a look at some of the work that they've done together, which I did, as a matter of fact, after I took my own advice. And it was beautiful watching her perform with Tony Bennett, and wondering at what point was she aware and leading him into a good performance? Anyway, I'm Mark. This is my journey through tarot. I'm really glad you stopped by. I hope to get a lot better in the future, and I hope to start getting comments and subscriptions and likes and shares. And if I don't, I'll just be a crazy guy sitting in his office talking to himself for probably a good while yet. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.